Welcome back to another edition of our spring season previews. Today I'm joined by head coach of the baseball team, Bob Prince. Bob, thank you for joining me today.
My pleasure.
You guys have gotten a few games under your belts. What's it been like having the team back together, back out on the field?
I mean, it's great to have everybody out. We had a fair amount of kids come back to take advantage of the COVID waiver. So it's really nice to see them out here. And then the interaction with the young guys who also have missed, especially our incoming freshmen who have missed their senior year. So like I said, it's really nice to get these kids back out again. And in somewhat of an interesting time. It's a nice slice of normalcy, I guess, so.
I know there's some normalcy, but a lot has changed. How would you guys adjusted to the new protocols in place to maintain safety?
Yeah, it's like any other rules. You just you find out what the rules are. You make your adjustments. You don't use it as an excuse, and you move forward. And like I said, it would be like any other rule change that we've dealt with in the past. Like I said, it's nice to have some of our coaches will keep an eye on everything in the dugout. We have guys who basically every inning are the COVID police, so to speak. So that's something that's a little bit different. But like I said, it hasn't changed much for us, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm. Do you think your time away from the game has changed your perspective heading into the season?
Yeah, I think anytime you're away from something, I think two things can happen. One, you realize maybe I didn't like this or love this as much as I thought I did, or I really, really missed this. And it gives you time to pause and to reflect and to think forward, and all of those things I've done, and I'm sure our players have done and our coaches have done, and it certainly does give you an appreciation, not just for what you're doing, but the people, more specifically the people you're around and the relationships you have. That's the most important thing that kind of this brings us all together. And it's like I said, it's exciting that we're back out here and able to do this with each other.
Mm-hmm. What's it been like preparing for this season compared to past years?
It's been shorter, so normally we'd have a fairly lengthy preseason, and then you have some games we've generally played prior to leaving to Florida, and then play about 10 games down in Florida. This year, we've rolled right into conference play. So our preparation has everything's kind of sped up a little bit. I don't think it's affected us a ton, especially on the offensive side, despite the fact that we haven't necessarily been tearing the cover off the ball right now. Pitching side, it has a little bit. We've had to be a little bit more cautious with kind of ratcheting up our pitchers and pitch counts, etc. But I think the biggest thing that affects, to be quite honest with you, is just two things. One, in-game experience. Having that sort of preseason Florida games, etc. Those allow for a lot of things, on the coaching end of things, to highlight good or bad, and then able to approach those in practice. So not having that, some of these things are sort of rearing their heads in conference games, which is something that we have to deal with and account for in practices. But the biggest thing, I think, is just the camaraderie that we haven't been able to, when we go to Florida, we're living in, basically two houses. And it's a great time for these kids to really get to know each other and to trust each other as teammates, and people. And so that's something that we haven't had to do. So we've really tried to manufacture that a little bit more here. So that's been the biggest difference in terms of what I can see or what I feel in terms of our preparation.
Mm-hmm. I know last year your season was cut short while you guys were still in Florida. Do you think that lost potential has affected the team's mindset going into the season?
I think like anything, you got to put whatever it was you've done in the rearview mirror, build off it, use it as whatever, whether it be motivation, etc. But it's a new season, it's new kids. It's a new team. Every year is a new team. So we've kind of come in with that mindset where we had a really nice, first quarter of the season last year, but that was last year. And we're new. The league, every team has a different, every team in our league is different this year. So it quite honestly is more about this year. And let's leave the past in the past.
Definitely. You guys have already seen a few teams from the Little East Conference. Who do you think presents the biggest challenge throughout the season?
Us. Quite honestly, I feel, generally, you look within when you play. I mean, obviously we have scouting reports and all those things, and every team in our conference is a good team. And every team in our conference can beat anybody. So our focus is generally on us, and we need to do the things that's important to us in terms of execution to win games. So if we can't focus within and take care of that, then it certainly doesn't even matter who we play in our conference. We're not going to do well.
What do you think it'll take for your team to make a run in the LAC tournament this spring?
I think in the end, it's been pitching and defense. You gotta throw the ball, catch the ball. And if we do that efficiently, especially on the mound, I feel very good about what we have. We do have a veteran team on the mound. We have a veteran team in the field. So guys know what we need to do. It's just a matter of going out and executing. But our goal this year is to have ourselves peaking towards the end of the year going into the tournament. Like I said, that's been our goal all year, and we'll continue to move forward with that.
Mm-hmm. I know this season faces kind of different challenges in comparison to past years. What kind of preparations have you made to face the unique challenges that COVID-19 has brought to college sports?
Yeah, I mean, I think initially it's communication. It's making sure we're all on the same page as a team, staff, etc. Working with the training staff as well. And just making everything as normal and as comfortable as we possibly can. And once again, not using it as an excuse, or a crutch, but embracing the changes and doing our best to like I said, just to kind of navigate through this without using it as an excuse. I think once again, the people who use any of this as an excuse are the ones who are, probably not going to be playing at the end of the year, quite honestly.
Yeah, definitely. It's all about taking it in stride.
Yeah.
Thank you for your time, Bob, and good luck with the rest of the season.
Thank you, Molly. I appreciate it.